Hello everyone. So in this video we will talk about the chapter 8 revision exercise. So here we will talk about the MC questions. So let's start from the first question. So for the first question, it asks you for the most basic storage unit in a computer. So we remember that the basic unit of a computer should be 1 bit. Okay, so which may represent a 0 or a 1. Okay, so the answer should be B. Okay, and for bytes, that is, we know that if there is 8 bit, okay, for example, 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1, there's 8 bit. Okay, it is represented to 1 byte. Okay, it's just a conversion of the units. Okay, so this is the first MC question. And then the second one is talk about which of the following is or are storage devices. Okay, that means there may have one storage device or more than one. So let's take a look. Actually, if you see the three answer, the second answer, keyboard, should not be a storage device. Okay, we can say that keyboard is only an input device. Okay, so for flash memory and hard disk, both of them are storage device. So the answer should be 1 and 2, B. And then we go to question 3. So which of the following is the largest storage? So the most easy way is we try to convert them to the same unit. So maybe we can say that for there is a 1 gigabyte. Okay, and if you remember, 1 gigabyte means 1024 megabytes. Okay, so it is greater than the B. Okay, and then for A and B, one is using kilobyte, one is using bits. Okay, they are very small unit. Okay, with a very small value, so they cannot be the largest one. Okay, so answer must be C. And then we go to question 4. So this time we talk about the smallest one. Okay, the smallest one. Okay, so we know that C should not be the smallest one because actually you can see the answer is the same as question 3. So if it is the largest one, then it cannot be the smallest one. Okay, and then for D, because it's using bit as the unit. Okay, if we try to change it to bytes, we need to divide it by 8. Okay, so 200 divided by 8, it should be 25 bytes. Okay, and then for kilobyte, we need to multiply by 1024 to become bytes. So obviously it cannot be the smallest one. And then for megabyte, we may try to multiply by 1024 for 2 times to become bytes. Okay, so I think we don't need to do the calculation. It could not be the smallest one. So the answer should be D. Okay, now let's go to question 5. So there are 3 bits in a binary code. So 3 bit, let's take an example, 001, 000, or 111, or 101. Okay, all of them are example of 3 bits. So how many different binary code can be formed? So we should remember the formula because the number of representation of by bits is we use the 2 to the power of bits. So here we have 3 bits, so the answer should be 8. And from the answer, it should be D. Okay, now let's go to the question 6. It is the reverse question of question 5 because now you have 10 characters. Okay, and you want to assign a unique binary code to those of all of them. So how many bits should we use? Okay, so we still use the formula of 2 to the power something. But we know that 2 to the power 3 is 8. And 2 to the power 4 is 16. So these two value is the number of unique binary code that can be represented. Okay, so for 3-bit we have 8 characters. For 4-bit we have 16 characters. So simply speaking, we at least should have more than 10 representation. Okay, so the minimum number of bits should be 4-bit. Okay. Okay, now we go to page 2. So let's take a look for them. Question 7 is talking about the coding system. And you can see the character provided to you some simplified Chinese. Right? Simplified Chinese. Okay? So we remember that if you want to represent simplified Chinese, for the first 3 coding system, only GB, okay, 國標 okay, 國標 coding system, okay, 國標 coding system can represent simplified Chinese, okay, and also Unicode can represent all language, okay, all language, so it can also represent simplified Chinese. Sure, it can also represent traditional Chinese and English and also the other language. Okay, so if you want to show the simplified 電腦, that you must use 3 or 4. So the answer should be D. And then question 8, obviously the answer should be A, because MP4 is an audio format. Alright? And then question 9. Which of the following does not increase the file size of a graphic file? So we should remember that a graphic file is affected, okay, will be affected by resolution, that is the size of the graphic, and also the number of color that can be represented, that is the color depth. Okay, so for this example, which will not increase the file size, for A and B, they won't. Okay, so the answer should be C. Okay, because the file name, okay, whatever the length of the file name, it won't affect the file size of the graphic file. Okay, and then 10. Which of the following is uncompressed? Okay, so if it is uncompressed, then the file size will be a little bit larger. Okay, so the answer should be BMP. Okay, bitmap picture. Okay, bitmap picture. It is not compressed. It is uncompressed. Okay, and then question 11. Which of the following is an audio file? So the answer is obvious. Should be A, MP3. Okay, MP3. So MP4 is a video file. So it will include both video, picture, and also some audio, some music. Okay, so it's not only audio. It will include both of them. Okay, so the best answer should be MP4, MP3. Okay, and then go to question 12. Which of the following file format can store pure music only? The only answer is MIDI. Okay, MIDI. So remember the file type MIDI, MIDI. Okay. So question 13. Which of the following is the unit of frame rates? So the answer should be FPS. It stands for frame per second. Alright. And then question 14. Peter increased the frame rate of animation. So the frame rate is increased. Okay. So we should remember, if frame rate increase, we will say that the fluency, okay, of the video will be increased. Okay. Frame rate directly related to the fluency. Okay. And then question 15, how many keyframes are there in the video? So we can see that the orange dot representing the keyframe. Okay, but please don't remember, at the very beginning there should have the first keyframe. Okay, so there are 3 keyframes in this animation. Okay, now let's get to question 16. So which of the following cannot be inserted in a video? Subtitle, okay, 字幕, okay, subtitle means 字幕, okay, so this is some text which can be inserted, it's okay. And then transition, okay, it is put between two video clips, is also possible. And then audio effect is also possible, but you cannot put computer program into a video. Okay, question 17. Which of the following is used to reduce the video file size? I think remove the video can really reduce the file size. It is not a reasonable answer. Okay, it's not reasonable. You should not remove it. Okay, and then increase the resolution. It cannot reduce. It cannot reduce. Okay, cannot reduce file size. We will only increase the file size. Decomposition, that means it is compressed, you make it not compressed. Okay, so compressed will make the file size decrease, but decompressed, it will increase the file size. Okay, so answer should be A. At last, 400 to 300, okay, the resolution is 400 times 300, so what's the aspect ratio? Okay, so aspect ratio can be found by simplifying the ratio. Okay, so maybe you can first change it into a fraction and then remove all the zero, so the answer should be 4 to 3. Okay, so the simplified format should be 4 to 3. The answer should be C. Okay, now let's get to the short question. So the first part is talking about the conversion of some basic unit. Okay, so we should remember that from smallest basic unit bits to byte, okay, we should divide it by 8. Okay, so the answer is not correct. This should be divided by 8. And then for the rest, from from byte to kilobyte, kilobyte to megabyte, and megabyte to gigabyte, we should use 1024 to do the conversion. Okay, so all of them are divide. Okay, so please change the answer. It should be from small unit to big unit, we should do division. Okay, and then for the bottom, reverse the process, we should use multiply. Okay, that means from bytes to bit, we should multiply by 8. Kilobyte to byte, we should multiply by 1024, and for the rest also multiply by 1024. Alright, and then for the second part, we will do some calculation. So let's take the first one as an example. We want to convert from megabyte to bit. So you can refer to the above diagram. So bit to bytes, and then byte to kilobyte, and then we reverse the process. So bit from byte, byte from kilobyte, and then kilobyte from megabyte. So megabyte to kilobyte, we should multiply by 1024 first time, and then kilobyte to byte another 1024, and then byte to bit times 8. Okay, so you can see the answer. We should multiply by 1024 for 2 times, and then multiply by 8. Okay, and then remember to bring your calculator. The answer 4194304. And then for the rest, it will do the similar things. Okay, gigabyte, first change to megabyte, and then to kilobyte. So we will multiply it by 1024 for 2 times. Okay, and then for question 3, so bit is bit, so we'll change by bit to bytes and then to kilobyte. So we need to divide it by 8 for 1 time, and then divide it by 1024 for 1 time. Okay, so the answer should be 1. And then question D, kilobyte to megabyte, we need to divide by 1024 for 1 time. Okay, so finally we get the answer. Okay, and then we go to question 3. So here we will try to fill in the information of some coding system. So the coding system that can store alphabet should be ASCII, okay, and it uses 1 byte to store 1 character. And then for traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese, both of them using 2 byte to store 1 character. And you should remember, for traditional Chinese, we use Big 5 coding system. Okay, 大五碼 Okay, 大五碼 Okay, Big 5 coding system. And simplified the Chinese should be GB 國標碼 Okay, 國標碼 Okay, and then the last one, the coding system that can store any language should be Unicode. Okay, it uses 4 bytes to store 1 character. Okay, now let's go to question 4. It's talk about the file size of an image. Okay, so we should remember that file size of an image can be calculated by multiplying resolution to the color depth. Okay, and the unit should be bits. So you can see the answer. The resolution is 400 times 300. Color bit is 8 bit. So the file size is 800 times 300 times 8. And then this is bits. We want to change it to kilobyte. Okay, so we remember that from bits, we should change to byte first and then change to kilobyte. Okay, so we need to divide it by 8 for one time and then divide by 1024 for another time. Okay, so by using calculator, the answer should be 117.19. Okay, and maybe you can use 2 decimal places to represent it. Okay, and then for the second question, 1920 times 1080, that's its resolution. 24-bit the color depth, so the file size should be 1920 times 1080 times 24, and then we convert it to megabyte. Okay, so we need to divide by 8 and then divide by 1024 for 2 times. Okay, so the answer 5.93. Okay, and then the question 5, we will try to classify the following file format. So they are image file format or graphic file format. Okay, so for graphic file format, we should remember that BMP is uncompressed. Okay, so it can provide the highest quality. Okay, provide the highest quality. Okay, so the first answer should be BMP. And then for transparent background, okay, 透明嘅背景啊，透明背景，GIF can provide transparent background. Okay, if it provide also the PNG can also provide transparent background. Okay, but for this question, it is not provided. Okay, so you cannot write PNG. And the last one, we want to store many realistic photo. Okay, realistic means real photo. Okay, that is you may use camera to take. Okay, 真實嘅相片. Okay, so the best answer should be JPG because it is compressed and it can provide 24-bit color depth. Okay, so it is quite colorful, it's quite beautiful. Okay, if you want to store a lot, JPG should be choose. And then question 6, try to mention 2 difference between GIF animation and MP3. Okay, so here are some example. So GIF do not have audio, but PM4 have. And for color depth, GIF can only have maximum 8 bit, but MP4 can have higher color depth. Okay, so this is the suggested answer. And other suggested answer is you may say that GIF can be shown in any web browser. Okay, so you don't need to install any other program to show GIF. Okay, GIF in browser. Okay, but for MP4 you need, okay, we need to install some other program to show the MP4. Okay. Okay, question 7 is we will try to convert the frame rate, time duration, and number of frame in between. If frame rate is, for question A, if frame rate is 10, the duration is 5. So we can say that the number of frames should be 10 times 5. Okay. And then the second, the frame rates. Okay, so frame rate is always found by the number of frame divided by the time duration. Okay, and the last one, the time duration, it can be found by number of frame divided by the frame rates. Okay, so if you want to make it simple, we can start from the very beginning. That is the frame rate, because frame rate always equal to number of frame divided by the time duration. Okay, so if you can and then you can change the subject of the formula to find the way to find the other two quantity. Okay, so let's say you can multiply the time duration to the other side, so you can find that the number of frame can be found by frame rate multiplied by time. Okay, and for the others, if you want to find the time, so which can be use the you can use the formula number of frame divided by frame rates. Okay, so you can check the above formula. So number of frame equal to frame rate times time. Okay, frame rate times time, and the frame rate equal to number of frame divided by time. Okay, number of frame divided by time, and then the time duration is equal to number of frame divided by frame rates. Alright, so you can use this three formula to find all the answer. So, and then for question 8, it provided you the animation timeline. Okay, so we can see that the square will move from 7 seconds to 9 seconds. Okay, so in the timeline below, for 7 seconds, okay, it start to move, and then it will stop at 9 seconds. So you should write a square. Okay, write a rectangle to represent that for the 9 seconds, there is something changed for the animation. Okay. Okay, now we go to question 9. So question 9 will find the file size of a video. So we can find the file size of video by using resolution times color depth, which is the file size of one picture. Okay, maybe one frame. Okay, file size of one frame. Okay, and then there may have many frames, so we should know how many frames are there. So for that result, we can find the frame rate times the time. Okay, so it combined to find the number of frame. Okay, so you can see the following question. The first one, resolution 1920 times 1080, color depth 24. So first of all, we multiply these two values, and then the number of frame equal to frame rate times time. This is 25 times 30. Okay, and then we try to convert the unit to gigabyte, because it's same as graphic. The unit will be in bits. Okay, bits. Okay, so if we want to change bits to gigabyte, we should change it to bytes, and then kilobytes, and then megabytes, and then finally gigabyte. Okay, so we will need to divide by 8 and then divide by 1024 for 3 times. Okay, so you can see here we'll multiply by to the power of 3. Okay, so by calculator answer 4.34. Okay, so I will do the similar thing for the question B, 400 times 300 times 8. Okay, which are the resolution and the color depth, and then multiply by 30 FPS and 10 seconds. And this time we change it to megabytes, so we just need to divide by 1024. And then question C, the time is 1 minute. So remember, we should convert it to second. Okay, so 1 minute means 60 seconds. Okay, so you can check the answer. Resolution 1280 times 720 times 24 bits. And then frame rate 60 times 60. Okay, and we convert it to gigabyte, so we need to divide by 1024. Okay, so by calculator the answer is 9.27 gigabyte. Okay. Okay, and then question 10. Here is the software that's shown to you. It says that you can try it free, but you need to buy it after you try it. Okay, so maybe we can do a small revision. For software license, okay, there are 4 types of software license. Okay, the first one we call it commercial software. The second one is freeware. The third one is shareware, and the last one is the open source software. Okay, and the most important difference is for commercial software you must pay to use it. For freeware it is really free to use it, and for shareware you may free to try it. Okay, for some evaluation period. Okay, let's say 1 month or 7 days. So after the evaluation period, you should pay to use it. Okay, pay to use it. Okay, so so it is not totally free. Okay, but you can free at the very beginning to try it. Okay, but after the evaluation period, okay, let's say 7 days. So after you try it for 7 days, you still need to pay money. Okay, and for open source software, it is free. Okay, and also the source code are open. Okay, are open. Okay, that means everyone can change the software. Okay, so this is the most the biggest difference between these 4 software. And moreover, the first 3 software are copyrighted. Okay, so you cannot change the program. Okay, only the software company can change it. Okay, because it's copyrighted. And also most of them will provide technical support. Okay, technical support. So technical support means if you cannot use the software, or you have some problem of using the software, the company will help you. Okay, can help you. But for open source software, because it is open source, everyone can change it, and no company can provide technical support to you. Okay, and sure, open source software is not copyrighted, uncopyrighted. Okay, so I repeat the wording. It is uncopyrighted and no technical support. Okay, so this is the summary of these 4 software license. Okay, so let's go back to the answer. So the above software is free to try, but you need to pay to buy. So obvious, this is shareware. And the second one, it will talk about the difference between shareware and open source software. Okay, so you can use what we have talked. Okay, so first of all, open source is open the source code to everyone. Okay, so shareware is not. So for open source software, everyone can copy, can distribute, or even edit the source code. And secondly, open source software has no copyright, but shareware has. And shareware provide technical support, but open source cannot. Okay, so you may write down either 2 of them, okay, for the answer. Okay, so that's the end of the explanation of the revision. So hope you get of your success in the exam. Okay, see you, bye bye.